Okay, this is a video that's just talking about generating certificates for either a new site or an existing site, and sending that certificate off to Squiz for installation. So first thing is that you need to organise through OCIO a login to Azure into the App Service Certificates area. This can be done through OCIO. Talk to Jason Whiteley. Same with Cloudflare. You need an account in Cloudflare, and that's organised also through OCIO. So first thing we need to do is that we've got we've got a bunch of domains to do, but we're going to do a simple one now, and that's create a brand new certificate for a new department that's starting up now called Housing and Urban Development, and I'm going to create a cert for that now. So first thing, we open up Azure, we get into our App Service Certificates, and we need to create a new one. Great. Now, on this screen, we need to choose the resource group will be PRD-SAGOV or SAGov resource group. So that's the one that we're using, and that's the one we need. And the next line, naked domain host name, which is what we want, and we're going to put in dhud.sa.gov.au, and then in the cert name we need to explain what this actually is. From the name, we have a naming convention which is GWS for all of our sites. DHUD, which is any identifier for what this particular certificate would be, and what it is, a certificate. Right, so now that's done, we want to make sure that enable renewal is on, and hit review and create. Now that that's it's giving you a review screen, and pretty much you just do a double check or a last check and make sure that all this is correct. And now that I've checked that it is, I'm going to hit create. Now it sits here and it waits for a bit, and I'm going to leave this in real time to process, and that will give me the times on how long normally this stuff takes. Generally, it can take up to 5 minutes. What we'll see here is we'll see a resource name appear, but we still won't be able to do anything until we get a button that says, see, there we go, it says GWS DHUD certificate is now a resource, but we've got to wait till a button appears that allows us to manipulate or edit that new resource. There we go. And we've got go to resource. So that was about, what, maybe 2 minutes. So we'll go to resource, and now we're in the GWS DHUD certificate, and things aren't quite working yet, but that's fine. We need to go down to certificate configuration, and you'll see that nothing's verified yet, nothing's been assigned. First thing we need to do is, instead of step 1, we have to jump to step 2 first. And so we're going to click into step 2, and we're going to choose manual verification. And you'll see that the manual verification needs us to create a text file in the DNS record and produce it and basically create it with this little hash or string, so that it knows or can validate against the fact that we actually own this particular domain. So what we do is we copy this string, and we now open it, or go over to Cloudflare, and we open it up. It'll make you log in. It'll use the verification two-factor to log in, and then when you're finally logged in, you'll be presented with this screen with your name and also the South Australian Government. We want South Australian Government. So this is a list of pretty much all of our domains, and you can see we've got 131 as of today. So I'm going to take my name out of this search box, and I'm going to put in dhud and search on it. And dhud.sa.gov.au is the one we want. So we're going to click on that, and we want to go to the DNS in the side nav here, and you can see that there's nothing really that's set up here yet, and that's because it's pretty much a raw domain name that it was been handed over to us from OCIO. So first of all, we need to add a record, and the first record we need to add is a record to its actual record, which is to point at our server. And I'm just going to grab our DNS. The easiest way to do that is to, I'm going to include this in here so that you've got my little cheat. You can go to the toolbox.google apps to this little thing here, and you can put in dpc.sa.gov.au, which, dpoc is wrong, dpc, and the A record for that is the same IP that we use for all of ours. So I'm going to copy that, and we're going to jump back over here, and we're going to put it into here. So that's the A record for dhud.sa.gov.au. I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to add another record, and this will be a C name, and the C name will be for www, and this, on being that it's our squiz setup, we need to point out sa.gov.squizedge.net, and we hit save. So now we've got our two domain records, and now we're going to add our third, which is back on the Azure side, this string that we need to add in for verification. So we add a record, we go down to text, choose text. We want the @ symbol here, and that just means it's for this particular top level of the DNS record. And then in this content required box, we're going to paste that string. Actually, not that string, we want this string. And hit save. So now we've got our DNS record prepared and ready to go, and this is all looking fine. So what we need to do is go back to Azure, and we hit our refresh here, and at some point this will verify. Can take a little while, so I'm going to jump back to the record and do those other steps while we wait for that. So I do that by jumping back into my breadcrumb to this last one. And we can go to step 1 now while that's verifying. So we'll click store, and we want to select the key vault. Now the key vault is different to it's nothing to do with these say SA Gov ones. We want this one that says DPC GWS Key Vault, and we want to choose that and hit select. And that's saving. It's saved now. We go back again using the breadcrumb. You can see that that's now ticked, and any moment now that will actually trigger this assign one to tick. You can always try and trigger an update by going to overview and hitting refresh. And going back to cert. That's now ticked. So now we're just waiting on the domain. I bet generally when I've got to this far, it has actually verified. If we click it again, you can see it's actually verified. It just hasn't caught up with itself yet. So if we click over here and we just wait, this this checkbox will tick. So we'll wait. Back to overview, give it another refresh, jump back, and there we go. All three are checked now. And what we need to do now is actually download or export the certificate. So we hit export, and we want to open our Key Vault secret. Now, once that's done, okay, so it's telling me I need to VPN in, so that's a good catch for this little video. So let me VPN in. So you must be in StateNet to talk to these servers properly. So as you can see, I got most of the way, but just this last bit needs me to be definitely in StateNet. So I've now joined StateNet and I'm now connected. And if I hit refresh now, things are still reconnecting to StateNet. So now you can see that it allowed me to get to the Key Vault, and the certificate is here, and we need to download this certificate. So that's now gone into my downloads, and what I need to do is take note of this expiry date. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to open up Excel and open up our certificates file that is a common file on our SharePoint. So it's this one here, so I'm opening it up, and I don't need that, so let's just cut that out. So this is our file, and we're currently just down here. So you look up the date that you're around about, it's 24th. So it's in here. I need to insert it in here. And we need to type in dhud dns.sa.gov.au, and it has now been put into Cloudflare and GoDaddy. It is now valid. Here's where we put our date, and just make sure this is showing that we're now 365 days away from expiry. And that is pretty much the part of the process on our end. The last bit we need to do is send it off to Squiz. So we open up our browser again. We open up a link to my Squiz. We want to create a ticket. And we want to also then add support service. We want to request a new piece of work, and description is install a new certificate for dhard.sa.gov.au. Copy that because we need to type it a couple of times, and we want that tomorrow. So we want matrix as the product. Summary, again, we want to type the same thing, and we'll say attached is the certificate for dhard.sa.gov.au. Now the next bit you need to actually add to this is we please force HTTPS. That allows them to make anybody who's using this domain, force them to use HTTPS, and push the requests to www. And that just forces people to use www in the name. And that's it. Thanks. And what we do is we attach the file now using this, where are we? We attach it somewhere up here. There we are, browse. And we attach our new certificate and we hit open. And now we have that attached, and we send that off to Squiz, and that's it. I'm going to actually, these guys have got a second certificate that they want, so I'm going to continue on and create that one and attach that to this request as well. But that's how you create a certificate. Cheers.